Hey there, Mickey Barfield with the Polyhedral Knights. Here to do a vlog we're going to do for Southern Gothic. And I'm going to try and do this either every week or every other week. We'll see how things go. And this one's going to be just kind of short and sweet, let you know what's going on here. Obviously, we got funded, so yay. Thank you guys for doing that. And we're really looking forward to releasing this thing. So obviously, if you looked at the Kickstarter, you saw certain like sample pages that we did there and a little part of an introductory story there. Now typically in a lot of my games before in the past for the main rule book, we'll have a chapter of a story that kind of continues on each chapter, usually someone's certain saga. It gives you a feel for what the world is like a little bit, as well as get to read a story and read a little bit about the pre-gens that are also in the book as well too. This one's going to focus on Caroline Wycliffe. Now, her family, the Wycliffes, they have the blood of a succubus in them. And there's certain manipulative type things that they can do, but we'll get into that in that section of the other vlog, which is not this one, sorry. But if you want to know more about that, you can also look on YouTube under the Bloodlines thing. You'll hear about the different families we have for that and gives you a little bit more of a background and some teasers on that, okay? But what we're going to do is we're going to have Caroline in the story. And now this book will have 10 chapters, at least. So far, that's what we have slated for, 10 chapters. And there'll be 10 chapters for Caroline's story. And it starts off with her chasing down these two dirtbags who apparently capture this little girl. And you kind of get, well, right near the end, you find out that little girl may not be so innocent. So, as you read, you'll find out more about that. Now, also, too, what we're going to be working on is that'll lead into Chapter 1, which is the intro into this world of Southern Gothic. And as on my Kickstarter video and a few other things I've talked about before, this is really something that's post Civil War. It's really more of a backdrop for then because that was a terrible time in history for a lot of reasons. But even afterwards, the aftermath that a lot of people went through was already terrible alone. And the South really took a huge hit too. I mean, because their industry was tied up in Confederate money, and that just didn't work too well when they, wound up back in the Union again. So, but that's the least of their problems. In this story here, really what it is, it's about these demons who just really took advantage of these people and just made promises and delivered, sort of, with a lot of twist to it. So we're really kind of focusing on that whole, Gothic era type thing. And then just, I thought the war-torn area there would make it a little bit more impactful. And now we're going to set it, well, at least you don't have to run the game right there in that way there. If you want to spread it out somewhere else, you can. But we're going to have a setting called Plenty, Louisiana. It's going to be a fictitious town. And in Plenty, it's rebounding pretty well. There's a pig iron industry that's going on there. And back then, that was a fairly profitable industry. Anyways, so you have several sections of this town that's on the rise. But there's also a lot of darkness there too that's lingering from before, that's also being taken advantage now by some of the evil that's there. So in Chapter 1, we're going to kind of give you enough of a primer so you know what you're dealing with here, okay? And I think that'll be real nice there. Now, in the book Plenty, Louisiana source book, we'll have a much more detailed thing for that if you want to get that. That'll break down all the parts of the town, some major characters in there, a bunch of plot seeds. We'll throw an adventure in the back too. So it'll be a really good source book so you have something to run with and do a lot of things with. Anyways, so on my Patreon, you'll see, I'm going to try and, when we get some things that are a little more presentable as far as rules, I'll try and post certain things up there and get people's feedback on that. Now, you can join my Patreon at Mickey Barfield, the Polyhedral Knight. I'll put the link down below. You can join that for free. There are other scale tiers on there that gives you more things. We might be changing that a little bit. I think there's something else I can probably do a little bit better, but I don't want to overpromise things. So just check that out, but we'll put that on there, okay? Thanks. And we'll see you again next time.